I just texted Dennis. I know he knows about the meeting. I talked to him earlier.
No, he's coming in now.
Oh, okay.
I'm here.
There. Oh, you got the tie on too.
Yeah, I figured so. Yeah. And somebody said the other night, don't make me get up.
Is my audio better on this machine?
Talking earlier.
That's a lot
Far
better.
better.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, then I'll cancel out of this one. Okay.
I'm here.
Oh, you got the tie on too.
Yeah, I figured so. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And somebody said the other night, don't make me get up.
Is my audio better on back?
Talking earlier.
That's a lot
Far
better.
better.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, then I'll cancel out of this one.
Catherine.
I'm here.
Oh, you got the tie on too. Wait, why are we hearing recordings?
So there's a 10-second, there's a 20-second delay on the
And
YouTube.
somebody said the other night.
So
don't
is
make me
somebody's
get up.
volume on?
Is my audio better on back?
Talking earlier.
That's a lot
Far
better.
better.
Is somebody playing the YouTube video too?
Catherine.
Me.
I'm here.
I could do it. I have another laptop here to do it on.
Turn it off. Turn it off. No, turn it off. Somebody's got it on. We're hearing
No,
it.
I've got it off.
Somebody said the other night,
Chris, I
don't
think it's you. I can see your audio's.
Try muting yourself, Chris, and see if it stops.
Somebody playing the.
It
There we go.
stopped.
Okay.
So you're the problem, Chris.
Did we lose Dennis? Is that Dennis? You still here?
Oh, I'm here.
Dennis is down there.
Oh, now I see everybody. Okay. Well, we have enough board members to start. Should we get started? We have 1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6.
5. Yeah. So
Steve
let's
Spur's
start.
waving.
Let's get started. Court reporter ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Good evening and welcome to the April 20th, 2020 meeting of the City of Summit Zoning Board of Adjustment. My name is Tom Yuko and I am chairman of the Summit Zoning Board. In accordance with New Jersey Statute 10:4-10, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to a newspaper of record and has been posted in City Hall. This meeting is a judicial proceeding. Any questions or comments must be limited to the issues that are relevant to what the board may legally consider in reaching a decision, and decorum appropriate to a judicial hearing must be maintained at all times. Due to the current state of emergency and restrictions of the governor's executive orders, this meeting is being conducted virtually via video conferencing in lieu of meeting in the council chamber at Summit City Hall, Summit, New Jersey. This meeting is being live streamed to the city's YouTube page. Members of the public can view the meeting by following the link provided in the agenda. Dennis Galvin is the zoning board's attorney. He will advise the board members on matters of law and is the key interface with an applicant's attorney. Mr. Galvin does not vote on the applications. Chris Nicola is a city employee and is the zoning board secretary. Mr. Nicola works with applicants on getting their applications together, planning our agendas, and keeping our meeting minutes. Mr. Nicola also does not vote on the applications. Our board consists of 7 regular members and up to 4 alternates. All members can participate in the hearings tonight, but a maximum of 7 can vote. Most applications require a simple majority to be approved. Some applications require 5 affirmative votes to be approved. You'll be told which majority will be required before we begin our deliberations. Mr. Nicola, please call the roll of the members. I guess you'll have to
You gotta
unmute
unmute yourself.
regular members and up to 4 alternates. All
Vice Chairman
members can
Spur?
participate in the hearings tonight, but a maximum of 7 can
Mr.
vote.
Laderi is
Most
not
applications
here.
require a
Mr.
simple
Steiner?
majority to be approved. Some applications require 5 affirmative votes to be approved.
Mr. Steiner?
Steiner.
Yes, here.
Required before we begin our
Mr.
A
deliberations.
little
Newell?
louder, Chris.
Here.
Roll of the members.
Mr. Mullen?
Here.
Yeah.
Schwartzstein? Mr.
You
Schwartzstein?
have to
gotta unmute yourself.
Here.
Ms. Hensel is excused. Mr. Millet?
Here.
Mr. Woikitz is not here. All right, and for the record, Mr. Galvin's here. You have a quorum, you can proceed.
Okay, thank you. If you are a member of the public interested in the case on the agenda tonight, please listen to when the board carries the application to or contact the board secretary. Christopher Anderson, the city zoning officer, has asked that I remind all applicants that they must read carefully the resolution that documents the zoning board's decision and to pay particular attention to the conditions contained in the resolution. For example, if a landscaping plan is required, you must obtain one and submit it to John Linson, the city's forester. If a grading plan is required, you must have one prepared by a civil engineer and submit 3 copies along with the application fee to the city's engineering division. Failure to satisfy all conditions in a resolution will result in a delay in approving your application, as will cause extra work for city zoning staff. The resolutions documenting the board's decision will normally be available 1 month after we decide the case. So on our agenda tonight, we have one hearing that's on the agenda, Daniel and Sherry Brown, 18 Johanna Way. I'll read what it says on the agenda here. The matter is being carried to the first meeting in May. If due to the current state of emergency, the matter cannot be heard, it will be carried to the first public meeting where it can be heard. No further public notice will be provided. If you are interested in this matter, we recommend that you contact the board secretary, as he will alert you as to when the matter will be heard. So Dennis, I guess we need a motion to carry this to, what's the first May date? It says on the agenda here, the matter is being
Chris, do
carried.
you have the first May date?
If due to the current state of emergency, the matter cannot be heard, it will be carried to the first public meeting where it can be heard. I have it as May 4th, the first May date.
Okay,
If you are interested in this matter, we recommend that you contact the board secretary.
so carry without notice.
Okay, so motion to carry without notice, 18 Joanna Way to May 4th.
So moved.
What's the first May?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
Hearing none.
Okay, Chris, you want to go to the resolutions?
yeah, our first resolution is 142 Colonial, 142 Colonial Road.
18 Joanna Way to May 4th.
Application ZB 19-2004. Eligible voting members are Mr. Steiner,
Aye.
Mr. Laderi, Ms. Newell, Mr. Mullen, Mr. Malay,
Hearing none.
Vice Chairman Spur, and Chairman Yuko.
Chris, you want to go to the resolutions?
Would someone like to make a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Please, you guys identify yourself on the computer when you do that.
Oh, sorry. I will do.
I forgot to remind people.
That's okay, they did it automatically. Go ahead, Chris. Call roll.
Mr. Steiner.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Spur, and Chairman Yuko. Ms.
Yes.
Newell,
Yes.
Mr. Mullen,
Yes.
Mr. Malay,
Second.
Yes.
Mr. Spur,
Yes.
Chairman Yuko.
Yes.
Sorry. I will do.
I just want you guys to know that we're going to change the name of our board to the Brady Bunch.
Okay,
Either that or Hollywood Squares.
Yeah.
next is
I like the Hollywood
245
Squares.
Forest Avenue, application ZB
We've got one too many.
1992. Eligible voting members are Vice Chairman Spur, Mr. Laderi, Ms. Newell, Mr. Mullen, Ms. Schwartzstein, Mr. Malay, and Chairman Yuko. Would someone like to make a motion?
I just want you guys to know.
So moved.
The name of our board.
Mr. Spur.
And Liz. Second.
Either that or Hollywood Squares.
Vice Chairman Spur,
Yes.
Ms. Newell,
Got one too many.
Yes.
Mr. Mullen,
Yes.
Ms. Schwartzstein,
Yes.
Mr. Malay,
Yes.
Chairman Yuko.
Yes.
Next is 37 Fairview Ave, application ZB 19-2002. Eligible voting members are Mr. Steiner, Mr. Laderi,
Yes.
Ms. Newell, Mr. Mullen, Ms. Schwartzstein, Vice Chairman Spur, and Chairman Yuko. Someone like to make a motion?
Yes.
Yes.
So moved.
Yes.
Second.
A second? Okay. Next is 37 Fairview Ave. Mr. Steiner?
Yes.
Mr. Laderi? Mr. Laderi is not here. Ms. Newell?
Yes.
Mr. Mullen?
Yes.
Ms. Schwartzstein?
Yes.
Chairman Yuko?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Spur?
Yes.
So moved.
And last resolution is 5 Iris Road, application ZB 19-2003. Eligible voting members are Mr. Steiner, Ms. Newell, Mr. Malay, and Chairman Yuko. Would someone like to make a motion?
I moved. Yes.
Is there a second?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Steiner?
Yes.
Ms. Newell?
Yes.
Mr. Malay?
Yes.
Chairman Yuko?
Yes.
Okay, and next we have the minutes of February 19th.
So moved.
Is there a motion to approve those?
Who's the motion?
Motion for the minutes.
Yes.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Yes.
All in
Who
favor?
seconded?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Time out, time out. Who seconded?
Liz Newell
Ms.
seconded.
I did.
Okay.
Okay,
I
and then we have the
can
minutes from
watch
March
you.
2nd.
I'm concerned. You're like, I want to make sure it works for you.
Would someone like to make a motion for March 2nd to approve the minutes?
So moved.
All in favor?
Seconded.
It was Ms. Newell.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Time out, time out. Who seconded?
I did.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I want to make sure it works for you.
None. Okay, nobody's opposed. That's it.
All right, two other things. Where is that echoing audio coming from, that YouTube? Do we have any idea?
It's coming from Chris.
Somebody has to have the YouTube open. I
Chris,
don't
you
know.
have the YouTube audio there, and I guess you can't shut it off.
Maybe you could turn it down to 0 or something next time.
All in favor?
Because when you mute yourself, it's gone.
Yep, it's gone.
Yeah. All right,
It's
anyway.
coming from Chris. So whatever it is you've got, you don't have to let tech know that that's a problem and how they'll get rid of it for the future.
Okay, the only other thing I'd like to do, Dennis and I, and I think Chris was on the call Friday, we had a long discussion about our future, when we can meet, what we can do when we meet. So I thought we'd take a few minutes, just get on the record what Dennis's position is based on the need for legislation and or executive orders to what we can and cannot do. So Dennis, could you just summarize that?
Yeah, we're kind of in between a rock and a hard place. The Department of Community Affairs has nothing to do with the municipal land use law or the boards. There are 2 executive orders that were issued that seem to give the Department of Community Affairs some control over what's happening in the zoning world. They created a memo about what we're supposed to do, and they're actually encouraging everybody to meet like normal on this remote computers, but it's only a recommendation. It's not an authorization. And that's what I'm saying. And I think we need a either legislation or an executive order that says that the municipal land use law is some elements of it are suspended in order to make this happen. As I see it, we can do all kinds of work as a board, especially the planning board can do redevelopment hearings. They can consider ordinance changes. But when you start doing a variance, that involves cross-examination, and some people are going to be opposed to these cases. I'm struggling to do the remote, and I'm in my early 60s. But I assume that some people are going to have a lot of trouble working the YouTube and working these devices. And so they will be left out of the process when, some of the people who've been in our room over the time that can barely hear us and they're telling us to speak up. So I don't believe that I just believe that there's potential for litigation after the fact in this. And from a sensible standpoint, if we can go back to having public meetings in 30 days, why would we take the risk to hear variance cases now? On the other hand, if we get more guidance from somebody in authority that says we don't have to abide by the municipal land use law, or it's okay to do remote cross-examination, then we'll go forward. The other thing too is I had oral argument today in a land use matter before Judge Ford in Ocean County. That went fine, but again, the difference there is that's not a cross-examination situation. And no court right now, our courts cannot have trials right now. There's no municipal court meeting. So I think where the disconnect is, I don't think that the Department of Community Affairs understands why we need to see the cross-examination and why it's got to be in person and why it can't be, we need to develop processes to be able to do the cross-examination. The other thing I would tell you guys is this. Some people are pushing forward with remote hearings and remote variances and remote cross-examination. I'm going to watch them, and if they're successful, we'll imitate them. If they screw up, we'll be like, wow, it's too bad. So that's my position. So if you can just be patient with me for 30 days or 60 days, I think we'll be okay. We have 120 days to hear any filing that we deem complete. That's 4 months worth of time. So if somebody came in today for Chris for a request and Chris deemed them complete, that would mean we didn't have to hear them until May, June, July, August, till August. I have to tell you, I think that we will be meeting by August, or we will have proper guidance. So I think we're okay. If we do get in a situation where somebody absolutely insists they want to go forward and they're willing to take the risk that they could be subject to appeal, then I will reconsider my position and I will advise you accordingly.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to follow Dennis's advice. That's what we have attorneys for. And apparently, conversation last week, it's really very few boards that are trying to have hearings. Is that correct, Dennis? It's a very small number.
Well, I think I know of only a handful so far that have actually done it.
Yeah.
And Hoboken Planning Board has met, and I knew what was going on and I agreed with what they did because they didn't really hear a variance application. They heard a redevelopment request, and that's a completely different animal. That's quasi legislative. There's no cross-examination in that situation. So I think that that's okay. And even the governing bodies, they're allowed to meet like this, but they're only supposed to do essential business. They're not supposed to be doing anything kind of out of the ordinary, and they're restricted somewhat from going into executive session because of the social distancing. So again, everyone's going to we have to push the envelope. We have to make government continue to operate for the public. So I think we got to keep walking that fine line of what can we do, what can't we do. It's not obvious to me everything that we can do, and we should do what we need to do. And if we don't need to do it, I think we should wait till things improve.
Okay. The bottom line is, Chris, to just refresh our memory, we've now passed all outstanding resolutions. Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't believe we have anything else outstanding at this point. So it really is just the applications that are currently in that are, we're waiting to hear. So
Okay. And the case
We have them all set for May.
I can put everything together. I can send you guys what we have, and we'll come up with something that makes sense and try and get on the same page. And also, I did figure out the echo on a sidebar.
Okay, good.
Well, the other thing too is if in the first wave of meeting activity, it would be wise to put things on there that we don't think would have a lot of public input.
Yeah. So the bottom line is, the case we carried tonight, we carried it to first meeting in May, which I'm 99.9% sure isn't going to happen. But we're covered in essence that if we don't meet May 4th, which I'm sure we're not going to, it's carried to the first real meeting we do have. So we're covered on that one case.
Correct.
Okay. So the bottom line is we do not have a definite next meeting date. Is that correct at this point, or?
Well, I think you would just take it meeting by meeting, and if we are able to meet, then great. If not, then we just handle the noticing of canceling the meeting.
Okay,
Unless Dennis says something otherwise.
so meeting by meeting, we'll take it,
And,
meeting by meeting. Okay,
and I'm literally paying attention to this every day and talking to people about this every day to stay on top of it. So,
anybody have any questions about that?
Yeah, we have one case that I guess I question, how long did they give us? And when does our time run out on that daycare center? Because I think there's a lot of neighborhood input. And we were in the middle of testimony, and when does their 120 days run out?
Their attorney's already extended the time until the pandemic sorts out and the board's able to get up and running. He left it open-ended for us.
and the other thing that you should take some comfort in, any sensible developer's attorney will wait until issues. They don't want to have any extra issues if they go on appeal. So there is going to be somebody out there who's going to insist they want to go forward. Then maybe we will. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Any other questions? Okay. Stay safe and healthy. I'll take a motion to adjourn then, I guess.
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Spur, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we're adjourned. Stay safe and healthy.
Mr. Mullen made the second.
Yep.
And all those in favor, please leave. Yeah.
Yeah. Back to whatever else you were doing. David, you can let your kid come in the room.
But don't depart.
Thank you.